I'm Carol Angrisani. Now that 2019 is officially here, it's the perfect time to discuss the new food and beverage trends of the year. I'll tell you about some of them. Plus, we have another edition of How to Shop Smarter. I'll tell you how to make sense of all the different types of pasta on store shelves. All this and more when we come back.
One of the most famous sculptors in the world is the Thinker. For ages, people have wondered exactly what he was thinking about. Some say he's thinking about the meaning of life. Others say he's contemplating the billions of stars and planets in the universe. But we know better. The Thinker is pondering how to save money at the supermarket. The answer, of course, is quite simple. The answer is store brands. Those great products that retailers offer with their own brand on it. Just as good as more expensive national brands, but better prices. Now that's not so complicated. Store brands. The Thinker knows.
Welcome back. Let me tell you, there are so many new foods and beverages on store shelves right now. I've been following food trend reports from the big supermarket chains like Whole Foods and Kroger, as well as predictions from research companies. So here are some of the common themes you may see this year. First, you'll see foods influenced by regions across the country. One example are these Texas barbecue-inspired kettle chips from Kroger. They have a bold barbecue flavor with a kick of black pepper to give them an authentic Texas taste. Also from Kroger are these sweet Southern Heat barbecue chips. They're seasoned with smoky, sweet barbecue flavor. More specific regions of the country will also be represented in the foods you buy. Kroger sells these Nashville hot chicken chips. Hot chicken is a type of fried chicken that is a local specialty of Nashville. And if you can't get to Nashville anytime soon, you can enjoy the unique flavor of these chips. Speaking of snack foods, specialty versions of classic snacks like cheese will be popular. So be on the lookout for charcuterie-style cheese and meat combination snack packs in the refrigerated section. Plus, fancy versions of traditional comfort foods like peanut butter and jelly will be popular. At Whole Foods, you can get this gourmet trail mix that's appropriately called PB&J Gone Gourmet. It has dried strawberries, raisins, cranberries, mixed with chocolate peanut butter cups, pretzels, and honey roasted peanuts. As for another trend, you'll see more options in the baking aisle in the form of alternative sweeteners like agave. I found this light organic agave nectar at Target. Agave nectar typically comes from the blue agave plant in Mexico. And what people like about it is that it's much sweeter than sugar, so you don't need to use as much. You can use this as a topping for pancakes and ice cream, or you can use it as a sugar substitute in baked products like cake and cookies. As for other alternative sweeteners, be on the lookout for flavored honey like orange blossom honey, as well as organic coconut sugar. As you can see from the foods I showed you here today, 2019 is going to be an exciting year at the store. Next, I'll give you some tips on how to navigate the pasta aisle. We'll be right back.
Washington, Jefferson, Adams. You can read the founders' names in the history books, but one name that you may not find is Selwyn Douglas, spelled with 2 O's. While the others may be the fathers of this country, Douglas was the father of store brands. There, in his small shop in Concord, Massachusetts, he sold food and beverages, household necessities, and health remedies. You could buy directly from the big barrels inside his store, or choose the things you needed from his shelves. They all came with his store's guarantee of quality. They were priced fairly, too. And when he wrapped up your items, he signed his name right on the packing paper, so you would always know where you bought things. That was the beginning of retailer store brands, and it hasn't changed in over 200 years. Store brands. Thank you, Selwyn Douglas.
Welcome back. Buying dry pasta at the supermarket once meant choosing between spaghetti, ziti, and other varieties. But the pasta aisle looks a lot different these days. There's brown rice pasta, quinoa pasta, whole wheat pasta, and many other alternative pastas. So let me help you shop smarter for pasta. This is traditional pasta. It's made from semolina flour that's made from durum wheat. It's certainly tasty and has a great texture, and it's probably the top pasta choice for most of you. But if you want a pasta that's higher in fiber and protein, you should choose a whole grain pasta like this. While this pasta is much lower in calories or carbohydrates than regular pasta, it does have more vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Whole grain pasta is made from wheat flour that contains the 3 essential parts of the whole grain kernel: the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. Traditional pasta doesn't have much protein and fiber because the milling process strips away most of the bran and the germ from the grain. This whole grain pasta right here has 56 grams of whole grain and 9 grams of protein per serving. Just make sure the pasta truly is 100% whole grain. Pasta labeled whole wheat isn't necessarily 100% whole grain. To determine if a pasta is truly whole grain, look for the words 100% whole grain on the front of the package. Or simply check the ingredient list. All grains and flours should be preceded by the word whole. Next, you'll see some pasta labeled as being protein pasta. This typically means it was made with flour that's blended with protein-rich ingredients like chickpeas, lentils, and egg whites. Speaking of chickpeas and lentils, they're being used more and more as the main ingredient in pastas. Black bean and edamame are other legume pastas. What's great about these pastas is that they are naturally gluten-free, and they are good sources of fiber and protein. If you need a gluten-free pasta but you don't like legume pasta, there are other options. Just look for pasta made with corn and rice flour rather than wheat flour. This pasta is clearly labeled gluten-free, and it can typically be found right on the shelf next to traditional pasta. Finally, if you want a value-added pasta but you're not ready to make the switch to whole grain or legume pastas, you may want to try veggie pasta. This is pasta enriched with dried vegetables like carrots, spinach, and tomatoes. Some brands have a full serving of vegetables in each portion. So go ahead and heat up some marinara, meat, or Alfredo sauce and enjoy a bowl of pasta that's right for you. Thanks for watching. Want to keep track of these and other new products and shopping tips? You can read all about them in my monthly newsletter at storebrandsusa.com. It's free, and I'm happy to send it to you. Just email me at carol@storebrandsusa.com. See you next month.